Barakah Halayim La Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Kakadash. This is Matazah coming at you with another lesson. Shalom to apostles and elders out there in GMS who are pushing this word with 100% truth and accuracy. Though I'm not of GMS, I still approve of the apostles of GMS. Peace and salutations to a hopeful elect out there. Who are they're the hopeful elect. I'm just gonna put it straight to the point. Listen, things are cranking up, bruh. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm starting to think that we are officially in Jacob's trouble. Like the bare minimum bit of it. Like the little base level of it. We're not deep in it yet, but I think it has officially began. And soon it's gonna get outrageous. And you niggas out there, y'all gonna feel it. It's gonna be very, very heavy on niggas. And it's gonna be even more heavy on you females. You nigga-lights. You females that just out of control. You're haughty and proud, and y'all just don't understand. It's about to get real. And yeah. So I got 2 quick clips. I know I usually do a better intro than that. I just want to get straight to the point. You know, time's ticking. All right. There we go.
So President Trump.
Oh, and before I begin, I like to say fair use. This is for educational purposes only. This is not for monetary purposes. I'm not using this for any money gain, monetary gain, none of that. I repeat, educational purposes only.
Has taken control of certain elements in the National Guard and now ordered them to deploy to Portland and Chicago. He says this is necessary because local politicians there are scared for their lives from the domestic terrorists. Meanwhile, an Oregon judge appointed by President Trump temporarily blocked the deployments, saying the president's determination was, quote, simply untethered to the facts. So let's dive into what we know so far after a chaotic couple days here on the home front. This starts on September 27th when President Trump directed Secretary Hegseth to utilize military resources to assist in domestic operations if needed, saying, quote, at the request of the Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, I am directing Secretary of War Pete Hegseth to provide all necessary troops to protect war-ravaged Portland and any of our ICE facilities under siege from attack by Antifa and other domestic terrorists. I am also authorizing full force if necessary. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Now, that statement kind of stands on its own in its uniqueness, but following that, there was a speech given by President Trump to all U.S. generals and admirals across the U.S. military as they gathered in Quantico, Virginia, where during the course of that speech, and we covered this in a video last week, President Trump talked about the enemy from within, dealing with radical Democrat cities and using some of those cities for training the military. I think these are some important clips. We'll run through them real quickly here to paint some context for other things we're going to hear in today's video. Here's President Trump talking with the top of the U.S. military just last week.
The ones that are run by the radical left Democrats, what they've done to San Francisco, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, they're very unsafe places, and we're going to straighten them out one by one. And this is going to be a major part for some of the people in this room. That's a war, too. It's a war from within. Controlling the physical territory of our border is essential to national security. Very important mission. And I told Pete, we should use some of these dangerous cities as training grounds for our military, National Guard, but military. Because we're going into Chicago very soon. That's a big city with an incompetent governor, stupid governor, stupid.
Now, in terms of the justification for the increase in military presence, really, in places like Portland and Chicago, we have a couple different statements here. I want to start out with one from the White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. Here's what she had to say about this last week.
President Trump will end the radical left's reign of terror in Portland once and for all. The president has directed Secretary Hegseth to provide all necessary troops to protect war-ravaged Portland and any ICE facilities under siege from attack by Antifa and other left-wing domestic terrorists.
And then turning to Stephen Miller, the White House Deputy Chief of Staff, who has been all over the internet last couple days, to say the least, talking about this. He said, one of the many things he said, quote, ICE facilities are federal property conducting a federal mission of immigration enforcement that protects the lives and livelihoods of 300 million American citizens. It is a violent armed resistance, talking about what's happening in these cities, designed to incapacitate the essential operations of the duly elected federal government by force. Now, I want to mention that in today's video, we're going to be exclusively focused on the use of the United States Military National Guard on U.S. soil. There's a lot here that's happened in the last couple days. I mean, again, just in the last 48, 72 hours, we've had ICE and DHS raids, arrests of some American citizens, lots of protests, some that have even escalated into federal forces shooting somebody in Chicago this week, which is like not being anywhere nearly reported as much as I would have thought it would be. The challenge is from every single one of those, I'm watching very conflicting reports come out, and it's nerve-wracking, to be honest, that something like this, so significant, that requires the deployment of U.S. forces inside U.S. territory, and the reports are at the very least contradictory. We need to watch this, I would say. Now, fortunately, we're not seeing the 82nd Airborne deployed here or federal forces deployed here, active duty military deployed in the United States. It seems like that was in the cards, however, because just last week, we got a report that Anthony Salisbury, a top deputy to Stephen Miller, was observed using signal in a public place to discuss a plan to deploy the Army's 82nd Airborne to Portland. Quote, between you and I, these are his text messages, I think Pete, Secretary Hegseth, just wants top cover from the boss in case anything goes sideways with the troops there. The 82nd is our top tier QRF, or quick reaction force, for abroad. So it will cause a lot of headlines, probably why he wants Trump to tell him to do it. When asked about this, Abigail Jackson, a White House spokesperson, said, quote, nothing in these private conversations that are shamefully being reported on by morally bankrupt reporters is new or classified information. Look, the deployment of the 82nd Airborne's Quick Reaction Force, it's a battalion they have on rotation that can get anywhere in the world in 18 hours. That's like a big thing in the 82nd. Incredible men and women in our armed forces. The idea that they would be utilized domestically because we have this rapid response necessary in a U.S. city, I feel like is an important piece of information. And that being brought up is not pushed back on. What's being pushed back on is that is being reported. Now, when turning to, we're going to start with Oregon and Portland and shift over to Chicago because we've got multiple cases of federalized National Guard troops now being deployed to U.S. cities. Starting with Oregon, President Trump talked about this just yesterday where he said, hey, look, that city, it's burning to the ground. Here we go.
Make it a place you'll never forget. BetMGM Sportsbook. Make it legendary.
Here we go.
We're going to look at that. It was amazing. Portland is burning to the ground. It's insurrectionists all over the place. It's Antifa.
You heard that? That word. Insurrection. Sounds familiar?
And yet the politicians who are petrified. Look, the politicians are afraid for their lives. That's the only reason that they say, like, there's nothing happening. And you've seen it. The place is burning down, and they pretend like there's nothing happening. So we'll take a look at the order. We haven't seen the order yet.
Now, at the beginning of that clip, you heard somebody mention the judge's order. And what happened as soon as President Trump, and there's been a lot here, so bear with me, when the Oregon Guard was federalized and then deployed to Portland, immediately, or the state of Oregon and the mayor, the governor and the mayor sued. And they came out and said, you can't do this. And U.S. District Judge Karen Immergut issued a statement here. And I think this is actually really important to pull a couple pieces out because she wrote it in a way that's pretty easy to understand. She said, quote, This case involves the intersection of three of the most fundamental principles in our constitutional democracy. The first concerns the relationship between the federal government and the states. The second concerns the relationship between the United States Armed Forces and domestic law enforcement. The third concerns the proper role of the judicial branch in ensuring that the executive branch complies with the laws and limitations imposed by the legislative branch. Whether we choose to follow what the Constitution mandates with respect to these three relationships goes to the heart of what it means to live under the rule of law in the United States. This historical tradition boils down to a simple proposition. This is a nation of constitutional law, not martial law. Defendants have made a range of arguments that, if accepted, risk blurring the line between civil and military federal power to the detriment of this nation. The president is certainly entitled to a great level of deference in his determination that he is unable to, with the regular forces, to execute the laws of the United States. But a great level of deference is not equivalent to ignoring the facts on the ground. The president's determination was simply untethered to the facts. Now that order is still in place, and President Trump and Secretary Hegseth have so far not been able to deploy Oregon's National Guard or California's, which came up here as well. After the Oregon National Guard was stopped from deploying into Portland because the governor, who is in their direct chain of command, said, we don't need it. What's happening here? The U.S. government then shifted to California and said, if Oregon's not going to go, we're going to federalize California's guard and send them in. But sticking with...
This is happening because this government is trying to force chaos into America so they can take over, so they can do their agenda and bring in the mark of the beast. They're rushing things because they know their time is short. The devil know his time is short. So he's trying to rush things. He's trying to push his agenda along. And people are not happy about it. Especially they little underlings, they're not happy about it. This place is like what the apostles and elders of GMS been saying. This place is like a drain. It's America slowly circling around a drain. It's around the ring of it. It's to the point there will be no more America very soon. And these people in this place, they're just so lost in the sauce they don't see it coming. They're just like, oh, it's gonna pass over. Oh, this is just another thing. We'll make through it. No, this place is going to be obliterated. It's going to be a wasteland. It's not going to be inhabitable no more. When the Lord's done with this place, no one's going to be living here anymore. No one, not a human soul. This place is going to be through. We're at the end of this kingdom. Literally. And it's only going to get worse and worse and worse.
The truth about coffee, it's acidic, spikes your stress hormones, and it does nothing for your gut, your skin, or your brain.
Salakio on these ads.
Look at the live scene on your screen right now. Federal agents now have clashed with rioters outside that facility, that ICE facility near Chicago.
So, Chicago area rioters are throwing the kitchen sink at their local ICE headquarters. But sadly for these Antifa militants and their legions of Sanctuary City voters, these guys don't stand a chance against hardened troops, nor does a local progressive man
Testing peacefully earlier, and then they had to hit them with pepper balls. And now the federal agents are holding the line against the rioters.
If they're gonna,
Testing peacefully earlier.
My bad.
progressive mayor who thought he could stop. But sadly for these Antifa militants and their legions of Sanctuary City voters, these guys don't stand a chance against hardened troops, nor does a local progressive mayor who thought he could stop ICE from deporting fugitives. But as ICE keeps the buses rolling, these rioters keep changing up their tactics.
So they were protesting peacefully earlier, and then they had to hit them with pepper balls. And now the federal agents are holding the line against the rioters.
If they're gonna like treat people on the outside like this, like how are they like treating people on the inside? Like is it even worse than this?
This is really what standing up for democracy looks like.
Broadview Police Chief Thomas Mills says on top of requiring 75% of his department's manpower for crowd control outside of the ICE processing facility in the west suburban city, he was personally verbally attacked by ICE agents during a protest.
September 19th, the Homeland Security spokesperson said in a statement, in part, rioters assaulted law enforcement. Police under J.B. Pritzker's sanctuary jurisdiction refused to answer multiple calls for assistance.
People are in danger. These agents are in danger just simply doing their job because of these, I want to say antics, but it's far more serious what these Democrat politicians are not only doing, but encouraging.
Move it! Move it right now! Move it!
All right, so we're going to continue to walk a little bit further because...
So as legions of rioters throw themselves at ICE, local mayors are blaming ICE for that. And what nobody's talking about is we're now entering phase 2 of the war on law enforcement, and we're learning a lot about the tactics these sanctuary mayors and mobs are gonna be using. First, it's recently come out that the fencing used to defend the Chicago ICE headquarters and keep the hordes at bay has been deemed illegal by the local fire department. On top of that, local police are refusing to come to the aid of the Broadview facility and make arrests. A tactic they're obviously imitating from the Portland, Oregon Police Department, who spent all summer making 0 arrests. And these political moves are all happening behind the scene while politicians and local leaders continue encouraging people to just stand up for what's right, which really means doing the wrong thing by being violent. Something many a budding mayor or lieutenant governor seem to think is a perfectly reasonable, justified idea. And when politicians show up and join these riots, it just makes the whole situation worse. It makes these violent insurrectionists think they've got state sponsorship and state backing, and let's face it, in a sanctuary that harbors fugitives, state sponsorship of this activity is a reality. Which brings us to the real reason increased law enforcement with the backing of National Guard troops will likely be a reality. These riots, they're all taking place in areas of America that protect fugitives and defend criminals. Notice you don't see anything like this happening in the state of Florida, where they've got their alligator Alcatraz. Nope, nobody wants to touch that thing. Yet for some reason in Chicago, everybody from the lieutenant governor on down, and possibly even the governor, seem to be doing everything possible to altercate with ICE and increase tensions, revealing that the struggle for regime change in Chicago will take more than toppling of the main potentate. And if you want change to come to a sanctuary city, the whole place needs to be cleaned out, starting with the criminals.
Bring your f***ing weapon right at people, you f***ing toad!
Yeah, these thugs attacking ICE agents, they need to be arrested, they need to be locked up, and if they're found to be members of Antifa, well, they could be facing serious consequences.
There were weapons brought there, loaded handguns, within feet of Border Patrol agents.
Now, first of all, let me start by saying if you want to see more of these videos, I pretty much showed you where to go to get them. Like, for instance, if you want to subscribe to this dude, you can if you want. Same with the other guy. I don't just do this. I do it for, you know, the information. Some of these people, some of these channels be having some decent information, but yeah, as you can see though, things have cranked up drastically, and like I said, it's going to get worse and worse, and this kingdom is not going to recover from this, because it's going to get to the point that there's going to be a lack of food, a lack of water, and it's going to be death everywhere. You're going to start seeing dead bodies in the middle of the road, the middle of the grass, in between homes. You're going to be seeing burnt homes. You're going to be seeing all types of wickedness and wild shit just everywhere. Like it's going to get that bad to the point like people are going to wonder how to live, how to survive. Like, you know, it's going to get so bad out here, and your only way out is through Yahweh Shah. That's going to be the only way out of here. And if you don't know Yahweh Shah, then you're pretty much doomed. Like, I'm just going to say it again. You're pretty much doomed. Like, you're through. And there's a lot of through people out here. Even people that think they are in the truth. You know, that like the IUIC and those other camps, they through. This shit ain't no game. This is not a game, bro. Like it's about to get to that point that we about to find out who the true prophets are, who was lying to you, who is the devil. The devil is being revealed right in front of y'all face. You don't even have to look far. You don't even have to look up too much information. It's dead ass in your face, like literally. Like it's no excuse for you not to see who the devil is, who the deceiver is, who your adversary is, who the devil is, who it is. It's right in your face to see who is Esau Edom. What nationality is Esau Edom? It's plain and simple and in your face. But let me close out with my scripture, because this whole thing you're seeing right now is in the Bible. We go to Isaiah 19. I'm going to 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. The city against kingdom, the city against city hasn't happened yet, but it's going to happen very soon. That part is going to happen very soon. You're going to be seeing people like, oh, I'm Detroit over here, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm Chicago over here. You know, it's going to be like that. Like, it's going to be like people will be repping their area because it's just going to get bad. Like, I mean, it is kind of way happening because, you know, I take that back. It is kind of way happening to a degree. But it's not like bad, like it's going to happen. But the one against the neighbor is definitely happening. It's a daily thing. It's a daily thing. Let me go back. Let me restart it. This is Isaiah 19:2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt, which is America, which is explaining America is pretty much a conglomerate of all types of kingdoms, from Egypt all the way down to Babylon. Anyway, this is speaking about America. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. And they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to them, and to the wizards. It's a lot of black magic and all types of wicked rituals going on in America, and not just America, but you know, in other lands too. But this is talking about America right now. They doing all types of stuff to deceive and you see it. You people see it. You see it in all types of videos. That black magic and that witchcraft and those rituals, that stuff is real. These people, they're truly wicked people. They are the sons of the wicked. Esau, Edom, it's the sons of the wicked. There are three parts of man. The son of man, the sons of God, and the sons of the wicked. Esau, Edom are the sons of the wicked. The sons of God are the sons of Israelite. The Israelites, period. And then the sons of man are the other nations. The sons of the wicked are revealing themselves. So-called white man is revealing himself. Verse 4. And the Egyptians will give over until and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, who we believe is Donald Trump. And a fierce king shall rule over them, saith Yahweh. Saith Yahweh, the Lord of hosts. You see it every day. This very verse right here, verse 14, the verse 4. You seeing it before your eyes. You're seeing it. They're complaining about Donald Trump. They're complaining about what he's doing. They're complaining about his rulership. What he's doing right now. You see verse 4 before your eyes. You're seeing it. You're seeing verse 4 before your eyes, people. Wake up. The time is now. Jacob's trouble is here. It's not in full bloom, but it's here. Call Halayim La, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Kakadash. This is Matazah. Boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. It's here. And it's going to get worse and worse and worse. It's going to get, these people's hearts are going to wax cold and cold. Peace and blessings to you hopeful elect out there. To you all, Shalom.